95% of humanity is already dead. The monsters can't climb above 8,000 feet. So the survivors live on mountaintops, knowing that one wrong step downhill means instant death. This is how the world ended. Before we begin, please like and subscribe if you enjoy the video. It really helps small creators like me. Stay till the end for a massive plot twist. 3 years ago, the world collapsed in less than a month. Massive sinkholes opened across the planet, and from them emerged creatures humanity had never seen before. These apex predators, later called Reapers, slaughtered almost everyone. Cities fell. Militaries failed. Entire countries went silent. The strange part was this: the creatures would not climb. Anything above 8,000 feet above sea level was safe. So the last survivors fled upward, into the mountains. High in the Colorado Rockies, a small community called Lost Gulch Refuge clings to life. This is where Will lives with his young son Hunter. Will is a single father hardened by loss. His wife, Tara, died during an earlier expedition into the lowlands, a mission led by a scientist named Nina to study the monsters. Will survived. Tara did not. Hunter was born prematurely. His lungs are weak. Every night, he depends on an oxygen machine to breathe. And that machine needs filters. Filters that are running out. Hunter is restless, lonely. He watches distant mountaintop communities through binoculars, wishing he could talk to other kids. But electricity is limited. Radios are rarely used. Most communication happens through flags raised on poles. One day, Hunter ventures just below the safe altitude line. He shouldn't. A glowing red light appears behind him. A Reaper has detected him. Hunter runs, barely crossing the boundary in time. The monster stops instantly, unable to follow. When Will finds out, he explodes with fear and anger. Hunter's lungs could fail at any moment. One mistake means death. But Will knows the bigger problem. The oxygen filters won't last. Will goes hunting with Katie, a close friend and someone who knew Tara well. On the trail, they spot Nina, scavenging and testing homemade armor-piercing rounds against fragments of Reaper scales. Before the apocalypse, Nina was a brilliant scientist. Now she's obsessed. She believes the Reapers can be killed. That obsession cost Tara her life, and Will has never forgiven her. That night, Hunter suffers another respiratory attack. Will uses the last emergency medication. There's no more time. Will goes to Nina's house in the middle of the night and asks her to return to Boulder, where an abandoned hospital might still have oxygen filters. Nina refuses. She's been there before. She barely survived. Everyone else died, including Tara. Will reminds her of that, coldly, painfully, and leaves knowing guilt will do the rest. It does. By morning, Nina shows up. She's built a device, a compass that detects Reapers by sensing their massive bioelectromagnetic pulses. Katie insists on joining too. Will doesn't want her to, but she won't be left behind. They prepare for a 5-day journey below the safety line. Hunter watches his father leave, the same way he watched his mother leave. The group follows the Elba Fire Road, scavenging weapons from abandoned military vehicles. They find grenades, a launcher, supplies left behind by soldiers who never made it back. Nina explains something disturbing. The Reapers don't hunt animals. They don't eat. They don't sleep. They simply exterminate humans. That suggests something far worse than predators. At an old ski resort, Nina's compass starts flashing. A Reaper is close. They sprint for the ski lift, trying to restore emergency power. A grenade slows the creature, but it doesn't injure it. Just buys seconds. Enough. They barely escape above the altitude line as the Reaper stops, enraged but helpless. That night, they shelter in an abandoned lodge. Nina theorizes the Reapers aren't biological at all. Their scales generate a powerful electromagnetic field, possibly defensive. And if that's true, there may be a way to overload it. The next day, they reach an old mining tunnel. Will used to work here. He didn't mention it dips far below the safety line. Nina is furious. Underground, her compass won't work. The Reapers came from below. They are built for this. Humans are not. But the upper tunnel exit has been welded shut. There's no choice. They descend. In the darkness, red glows appear. Reapers. The group runs. Grenades barely slow them. They hide, holding their breath to reduce carbon dioxide, the very thing the creatures track. But it isn't enough. Katie is grabbed, dragged into the darkness, killed. Will and Nina escape, broken, grieving but alive. They reach a ranger station above the safety line. Inside, Will finds a box of macaroni and cheese. Hunter's favorite. The smallest things hurt the most. That night, Nina explains her theory. If a bullet could disrupt the electromagnetic field, the Reaper might explode from internal combustion. A magic bullet. Will calls it insane. That insanity already killed his wife. But in the morning, they head to Boulder anyway. For the filters. For Hunter. And maybe for something bigger. They reach Boulder just before nightfall. The city is dead. Cars are frozen in place. Streets are silent. Buildings stand open like empty shells. No lights. No voices. No movement. It feels like the world simply stopped breathing here. Will keeps checking the altitude marker on his watch. They're dangerously close to the safety line. They move fast. Inside an abandoned hospital, they find oxygen tanks and replacement filters. Will grabs everything he can carry. Every second matters now. Then Nina's compass starts flashing violently. A Reaper is coming. The ground trembles. Metal screeches. The creature bursts into view, tearing through the street with terrifying speed. Bullets bounce off its armor like rain. Grenades slow it but don't damage it. Thinking fast, Will shoots nearby oxygen canisters. They explode. The blast doesn't hurt the Reaper, but it creates enough chaos for them to run. They barely escape back above the safety line. Breathing hard. Alive. Will wants to go home immediately. Hunter needs the filters. Nothing else matters. But Nina stops him. She tells him the truth. She lost her entire family during a Reaper attack while she was at work. Just like Will lost Tara while Nina was leading the expedition. Guilt has been driving her ever since. She believes she's close. Very close. She needs to return to her old lab at the U.S. Department of Energy. If she's right, this could change everything. Will hesitates, then agrees. At the lab, Nina works through the night. Testing. Failing. Testing again. She mixes minerals, cobalt and magnesium, hoping to disrupt the Reaper's electromagnetic field. If the bullet penetrates the armor, the reaction should cause internal combustion.
En explosion.
A kill. But before she can finish, a Reaper attacks the facility. Nina runs, barely escapes, and in desperation, she fires one of her experimental rounds. The bullet hits. The Reaper explodes from the inside. For the first time since the invasion, a Reaper is dead. Meanwhile, Will is racing back to Lost Gulch. He crashes his truck, forced to run on foot. Below the safety line, 3 Reapers detect him. They chase him relentlessly. The ground shakes behind him. His lungs burn. His legs give out. He collapses. This is it. Then gunfire. Explosions. The Reapers are hit. And one by one, they blow apart. Nina appears. Alive. Holding the modified weapon. She did it. They did it. The Reapers aren't animals. They aren't demons. They are machines built with advanced alien technology, which means they can be destroyed. They return to Lost Gulch. Will reunites with Hunter, holding him tighter than ever before. The oxygen filters work. Hunter can breathe again. Nina raises a pirate flag, the signal used by mountaintop communities to indicate a Reaper has been killed. Across the Rockies, radios crackle back to life. For the first time in years, people talk again. Plans spread. Bullets are coated with cobalt magnesium. Weapons are prepared. Humanity fights back. Sometime later, Will and Nina stand together, looking through a telescope. In the distance, 3 green meteorites enter orbit. More Reapers are coming. But this time, the world is ready. Thanks for watching. Please consider liking the video and subscribing if you enjoyed the content.